I'm Aaron,
I'm Asia.
and you're listening to Deadly Sips.
Hi, guys. This is part 2. This is our first part 2 episode.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay.
First time.
You guys, we still have Will with us.
Yes, how are y'all doing tonight?
Woo!
Doing good.
So good.
So glad to have you back.
Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh. If you guys didn't hear in the last episode, Will is over from the Geek Gauntlet podcast. And what was your other podcast?
The Sports Report podcast.
Sports
Yep.
Report.
You can listen to that every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern on Wire to Wire Network.
All right.
Yep.
We will put links of all Will's info in the description.
Thank you.
Yes.
So check that out.
Thank you.
Please go give him some love. So you guys, how are we feeling? So, like we talked about it at the end of the last episode, how we're feeling, but
Yeah.
how are we feeling getting into the rest of it?
It's
Are we
like
ready?
I would love to see how she digs
I want to
herself out of
see.
this.
I want to see the rest of this. I'm
Mhm.
really curious to see the rest of this because the way things laid out in part 1, yeah, we gotta get into this. We gotta get.
And there's a
into it.
lot of info. There's so much. And with this, guys, with part 2, I'm not going to get into too much business. I think we're just going to hop right into things. Yeah, you guys, buckle up and grab your butts because this is
Grab your butt.
gonna get hold your butt. Hold your butt. This is where it gets crazy. Honestly, not to be dramatic, but I low-key got whiplash from the back and forthness of this episode. Like,
Oh
this
wow.
case, there's just so much.
Oh wow.
So let's get into it. So last episode when we left you guys, we left you just after the events of August 2nd, 2015, where Jason Corbett had just been murdered. So when paramedics and police arrived at the scene, they immediately noticed some strange things. There was no major visible injuries on Tom or Molly.
None?
Bitch was getting choked out.
Yeah. There's no signs around the neck.
And this was one of the most gruesome, gory crime scenes I've seen from the photos. And the investigator said this is one of the most craziest things he's ever seen in his career. There was
Wow.
a fight. Apparently, it had been one-sided.
Yeah.
Another weird thing is when the paramedics got to the scene, Jason's body was cold to the touch. So they claimed that they called 911 right away. But with his body being that cold, they're like,
Didn't.
No.
He had to be there for a minute.
Yeah.
So there's some alignment issues in their story already. And when reviewing the 911 calls, they felt a lack of urgency and that they were faking CPR attempts because you can hear them counting and performing CPR, but their breaths were way too perfect. If you were actually performing CPR,
Yeah.
it would have been a little labored. If you listen to it, it just sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nobody does that.
Mhm.
You would have been labored with the compressions alone.
No,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
I've done a few of those myself. Even though adrenaline is going, you are still huffing and puffing.
There was also no blood on Tom's hands. And if he was performing CPR like he claimed,
You'd have blood on his hands.
he would have had blood on his hands because
Mhm.
Jason was covered in blood. Another weird thing is, if you guys remember, Molly's mother was also here.
Yes.
She was in the basement. She claims that she heard screaming, like, she woke up to the scream when interrogated, but she claimed that she fell back asleep. Like, her husband went to go check upstairs, and I'm like, for a fact, in your brain, you claim that there's domestic abuse going on. If you know that's the case and you hear thumping upstairs, your grandbabies are upstairs.
Yep.
You don't just fall back asleep.
No, you don't. You don't.
She claims she didn't back up until she heard an officer calling her name.
Oh my, what?
Apollo
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, she was downstairs.
Apollo line
So-
already.
Weird. Get ready for this.
Uh-oh.
Tom, our good friend Tom, was an FBI agent. He had served in the FBI for 30 years, and with his extensive background that he had, he extensively was familiar with interrogation.
That's
And
interesting.
he likely knew exactly what to say and what to do to put things in his favor.
Right.
And during the interrogation, it's very clear that he's very good at controlling the narrative. And when you watch back the tapes, he's very good at that. And that's something that the investigators noted as well. They're like, he's really good at putting it back, controlling it, the whole thing. Another weird tidbit is the Martens were kind of untruthful about their initial weekend plans, because when they were talking about it, they claimed that they didn't have anything going on. They were just wanting to, come and visit their kids for the weekend. They didn't have any plans. And when the investigators went and questioned people back in their hometown, they found out that Tom actually had made plans with his boss that night, but he canceled last minute.
That's strange too.
Sounds like something to cover up.
Something to cover up.
And you guys remember the cinder block?
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
police, where's the cinder block?
I want to know more about this cinder block. Where the prince at?
So when questioned about the cinder block, Molly claimed they were planting a garden, which they found evidence for this. There were several cinder blocks in the driveway laid out, and they had a bunch of plants. They took pictures of this, and they were going to paint them to look pretty.
Okay.
But when you do that in the driveway, not in the house.
Exactly.
Or the garage.
Yeah, the
No,
garage.
I'm just-
Basement.
Yeah.
You don't just have one sitting on your handy dandy nightstand. That's just no. I don't believe that. That just screams weirdness to me.
It
Oh, yeah.
does.
We're gonna go on to the autopsy, and the findings of the autopsy are horrendous.
Oh my.
Jason had abrasions on his forehead, under his eye, shoulder blades, and then when you get to his head, the investigator, when I was watching his interview, he started tearing up because he said, I've never seen anything like this,
Oh my.
when he recalled it. Jason had so many blows to his head that the pathologist physically could not count how many because
my
they
goodness.
overlapped.
Oh my goodness.
He
my
couldn't
gosh.
count how many.
Oh my goodness.
That sounds
And
personal rather than
Yeah,
intense.
it does sound personal.
very personal. And also, a chunk of Jason's skull fell out onto the table during the autopsy.
Mm,
Oh my god.
It takes an incredible amount of force to cause that
Yeah.
type of an injury.
Oh yeah.
And Jason's injuries were primarily to the back and side of his head, which was weird because Tom claimed he was in front of Jason. And he kind of because he was choking Molly, but he was hitting him and he would swing around the side to hit
Mhm.
him.
Mm.
Investigators are it makes way more sense that either you're chasing Jason or he's down.
Yeah.
Blood was found in multiple rooms. The scene, like I said in the last episode, was insanely gory, and the pictures are bonkers. They found impact and blood patterns that suggest Jason was hit while down or close to the floor. I mean, you're not in self-defense at that point if you're hitting a man while he's down.
Right.
No.
Right.
It's gone past beyond that point. And there's also blood behind the bedroom door, which suggests that it's very possible there was a prolonged attack before Tom even arrived to the room.
Mm.
Something to think about, because he had to open the door, and the door
Yeah.
was open, or so he claims, after the point. So there's that. Toxicology.
Oh.
Molly and Tom claimed that Jason was very drunk when he went to bed, and he seemed drunk when he was attacking Molly. The toxicology report came back, and he had a BAC of 0.02, which to be considered drunk, that's maybe after one beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, one or two
Yeah.
beers tops.
To be
Yeah.
drunk, you'd be considered 0.08.
And he's an Irishman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's take
Yeah.
that in
Yeah.
consideration. He's
Yeah.
an Irishman.
Yeah.
exactly.
Not
Yeah.
that saying Irishmen are drunk, but they can handle.
They can handle. They can handle. They can handle their food. Their
Yeah.
Their booze. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's possible he could have been drinking and been drunk before he went to bed, but he was definitely not drunk at the time of the attack.
No.
Depending, how quickly his body processes the alcohol.
Yeah.
There was also trazodone present in his system, which, if you guys don't know, trazodone is an antidepressant medication. It's often prescribed for insomnia due to its sedating effects.
Mm-hmm.
The odd thing was the fact that Jason did not have a prescription for this.
Who did though?
Guess who got prescribed trazodone just 3 days before the incident?
Tom.
Molly.
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 I mean, granted, occasionally you can take your spouse's stuff just to help out. I can understand that.
Yeah. I get
You
that.
know.
Yeah.
Taking a step back, understandable.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to.
Right. Right. You're not supposed to
Yeah.
take anybody else's medication. That's true.
But it's weird that it was just 3 days before. That's
That's
the only
weird.
weird thing to me. I'm like, you've never done it before, and
Right.
You're doing it
at least
now.
that we know of.
Right.
So at this point, the prosecutors concluded that the force used was very inconsistent with self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
They kept going beyond the point that they had to. And they had enough to charge them with second-degree murder with malice, and they were arrested.
Yes.
Um,
Got him.
Yes, they were arrested.
Balance
Got
restored.
him. Yes. Yes.
Now, we're going to move a little bit more into talking about the children, which just want to preface this by saying they are 1000% victims in this
Mhm.
case.
Yeah.
They should not have had to go through what they had to go through.
No.
So Tracy, who is Jason's sister, and her husband David Lynch, they got the call about her brother passing away. And initially when she was told, she got told that Jason and Molly got into an argument and that Molly pushed him, he hit his head, and he passed away. Definitely not what happened.
Nah.
But that's what she was told. And she tried calling Molly. She couldn't get through. So immediately they pack up their bags and her husband head to Ireland. Head to America. Obviously their first concern are the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As an aunt, like if one of my sisters passed away, you just want to make sure the kids are okay. You want to
Oh,
see
of
them,
course.
make
Yeah.
sure they're good.
Yeah.
Those are your brother's babies. You just want to make sure they're okay.
Everything's
Yeah,
good.
they're your nieces and nephews.
So they get there. When they arrived in America, they were not allowed to see the kids.
Oh,
Which is immediately weird.
Yeah.
They have a legit concern to see these kids, and they're not being allowed to see.
mhm.
And also, when they got here, they found out that just 48 hours after the incident, the Martens had filed for custody of the kids.
Hmm.
Tracy and David also went down to the funeral home, and they were sent away.
That's
They
weird
were
too.
given strict instruction to not let them in,
That's
which
weird
again,
too.
That's weird.
red flags. Tracy and David were very suspicious that the Martens were trying to cremate the body before they could see him.
Mm.
And they had to jump through some major legal hoops, but
Mhm.
they eventually were granted access to see Jason.
Okay.
And once they did, for them, it immediately confirmed their suspicion that something was going on. And they vowed in this moment to get justice for him and help the kids. The kids, to get an official investigation, you have to go through like a special child agency or like a advocacy center. So they were taken to the advocacy center and they were interviewed by professionals. They gave an account of what happened that night, but they were asleep at the time. So it was kind of weird. Jack, the son, he was 10 at this point, he stated that his sister had a nightmare. And when Howie asked he had known that, he's like, oh, my mom told me. And the investigators noted that the kids' statements appeared very rehearsed. They did, however, claim that their dad was abusive and noted that he would get very angry over little things, especially in the last few weeks. He would just get really mad and yell over just small things. When asked, though, Jack would use words like, oh, he physically and verbally abused my mom.
Kids don't
Okay,
say
kids
that.
don't talk like that.
Exactly. That is very much sounds like that type of verbiage they were fed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They went to court over custody, and it was ruled that it was in the kids' best interest to go back to Ireland with their biological relatives. Tracy and David got custody of the kids, as Jason stated in his will that
Good.
he wanted them to be guardians. So I think that
Okay.
was a big factor.
Good.
But this day was very traumatic for the kids. They'd lost their mom, they lost their dad, and now they were losing the only mom that they really ever knew.
They knew.
And this was a very traumatic day. When you can go and listen to their interviews and the whole thing, I just feel really horrible for the kids. And they went back to Ireland, and both of the kids said it was very hard for them to trust again, which I mean, yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, solid. Yeah, what you've been through is a solid reason not to. Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
how do you trust people and adults after
Yeah.
that? Jack in particular had a really hard time adjusting back to life. He was a little older, which I can't imagine. Sarah did too. He noted that Sarah just seemed to have a little bit of an easier time than he did. Another thing to note was that this case was very publicized, which adds a whole other layer of complexity because, I mean, you have these kids and you're coming in, everybody's talking about it. They had, like, the community rallied together and were holding signs, and it was a whole big thing. So that's just another thing to kind of add on to these kids. Molly, at this point, was doing everything to reach the kids. She called. She posted daily on social media, hoping that they would see the posts. She would play messages on the Irish radio stations.
Oh, wow.
And
Man, she went
it was
all out.
also, she was going all, it's kind of stalkerish. She attempted to fly a plane, how you can fly messages on planes?
Mhm.
She tried to do that over their school.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's really obsessive. That's really obsessive.
Yeah.
And her, like, when she was talking about it, she's like, these are my babies and I just lost them. They were taken from me. I was doing anything to get them back. So it's on that side of things, I can see that. But from the other side, it just seems harmful.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I thought was sweet was that Jason's body was taken back to Ireland and he was buried next to Mag's.
Oh, that's good.
They were laid
That's
to rest
what's
together.
up. Okay. That's what's up.
About 5 months after losing their dad, Jack still was really struggling. He missed Molly a lot. And he called her and he left her a voicemail stating, he's like, I love you, I miss you, keep fighting for us, but don't tell anybody that I called you.
Right.
Immediately it was publicized.
Of
And
course.
Jack
She went all over that.
lost a lot of trust. And this is where Jack started to do a lot of research and to get an opinion for himself.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, for an 11, 12-year-old, that's a lot.
Dude,
That's a lot to do.
Props
Yeah.
to that, man.
That's a lot to do for some adults.
After going to therapy and spending some time in Ireland, both Sarah and Jack recanted their statements that they made in the Advocacy Center.
Really
Mhm.
now.
Get it.
They did. They claimed that Molly coached them, stating that they had to say these things or else they would be taken away from her. And they claimed that they never actually saw any abuse from their dad.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, at least.
Because of this, the children's statements were ruled as a hearsay, so it wasn't allowed to be brought forward to a jury during the trial, which at the time was a big deal, but this does kind of cause issues later down the road. Once again, these children lost both parents. They were pulled into a legal war. Sarah claimed feeling super guilty over the fact that she had lied initially, but I'm like, you're 8.
Right.
What are you gonna
You
do?
don't know.
What you gonna do?
And you're just for her, I'm like, that's your mom. So
Right.
Your mom's telling you to do something. Like
You gonna do what your
listen.
mom tells you to do.
Yeah.
And she says that she feels like she let down her dad, which broke my heart.
Oh,
I just hope she knows that you were a child.
child.
You were 1,000% manipulated. It is not your
Oh,
fault.
yeah.
Not your fault at all. Nope.
The trial. The trial took place in 2017. Both Molly and Tom were sentenced to 20 to 25 years in prison.
Hell yeah. Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That happened. They were sentenced and they were in jail. And at this point, the family finally felt like justice had been served. The children did struggle emotionally still in Ireland, but like this happened and they could move on.
Right.
After only a few years of serving their sentence, the Martens reached out to a lawyer about their case, and they moved more into the frame of domestic violence and felt there was a lot of evidence that should have been included in the case that wasn't. And turns out there was prior statements by Sarah that was not previously admitted that happened the morning after the home.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
They took place in their home by social services. And she
My
spoke of
goodness.
abuse here as well. If you guys remember, Molly had been placing those recording devices in the home. And when listening to them, they do reveal mutual hostility.
Okay.
So if you kind of listen to them, they do sound a little back and forth. Like it does sound like some abuse was going on to some degree, shape, or form. But investigators kind of state they're like, if she's going into the home, she can kind of control the narrative on how the things sound.
Oh yeah.
So,
Facts.
She knows where the things are at.
Yeah,
so
she
like-
knows where
No.
everything's located, where everything's put.
and if you put that in perspective and bring that perspective when you're listening to them, I can see it going either way.
Mhm.
So that's another reason why this case is hard. From the lawyer's point of view, he's like, this lady's coming to me. There's obvious signs of abuse that wasn't taken into account that should have been. So that's where they're standing at this point. And they did felt like it was wrong for them not to include the children's statements due to there being a lot of talk about the domestic abuse. This led to their convictions being overturned
No.
Oh,
and allowing for
way.
another trial.
No way.
After only serving 3.5 years, the Martens were released, which again, horrible for the kids. They're finally feeling at ease and their lives turned upside down again.
Poor kid.
Molly started to make claims to friends about being suspicious of Jason killing his first wife, and their lawyer started having it investigated.
Hold on.
She
Wait a
died
minute.
during childbirth, didn't she?
Yeah.
No, asthma attack.
Oh, it was
Asthma attack. It was asthma attack. Yeah.
That's right.
But here's the thing. When they had other professionals look into the autopsy report, they claimed it was very possible for her asthma attack to be consistent with what would happen after strangulation.
Were there any bruises around the neck or anything that was shown?
Nope. There was no bruises. However, they said that's not always the case. They're like,
I don't get it.
What?
I
this
don't
is
get it.
this. I don't believe this. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But they claimed that stuff could have triggered stuff on the inside of her throat. There's not always.
It's an asthma attack. It's going to trigger stuff on the inside. But
Yes.
choking is on the outside.
Exactly.
And the inside,
Exactly.
you're breaking shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, here's the thing, though. When they took pictures of Molly the night of the incident,
Mhm.
she had a like a nick mark
Uh-huh.
behind her head
Okay.
that was consistent with choking, but she also didn't have bruises.
Yeah, like
Okay, so no bruises, but just a mark.
Yeah, it was like a nail mark.
Okay.
They're from
Yeah,
they from two sides. I don't know exactly.
Mhm.
Obviously, Aaron over here, he had two hands on her.
I mean, it's not like I don't like it.
Get out. There are people present. Oh my gosh. Ooh. And moving on. Now, like I said, I don't think any of this happened. I don't think that he choked Mags, especially with the reports that they were just a magical couple and he
Yeah.
loved the crap out of her and the letters he wrote to her. I'm like, there's no way.
No way.
But from a jury perspective, it's convincing. Another thing to note was that her sister was over.
Molly's sister?
Mag's sister
Okay.
came
Yeah,
over.
Mads. Okay.
It was unclear. I'm not sure if she was already there
Mhm.
or if she had come over when she started having the asthma attack.
Mhm.
And she kept reportedly saying like, "Oh, like I feel like I'm gonna die. I feel like I'm gonna die," and that's apparently a thing after you've been strangulated and you have asthma. That's why they were saying that too.
Mhm.
But they're like, that didn't happen. There was also an instance where Tom or the Martens invited the Fitzgeralds over. That's Mag's parents.
Mhm.
They had a meeting with them, and Tom claimed that Mikey, who was Mag's dad, claimed that he said he believed Jason had something to do with his daughter's death. But Mikey said that absolutely never happened, and he even made a statement about it before he passed away.
Oh.
He wrote
Okay.
down because he knew that was probably going to be a thing. and-
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
So
there
he's
you go,
like,
Mikey.
Yeah, I know. Go, Mikey. Basically, I think that the Martens are just trying to control the narrative. Everything's with intention, very calculated, something that an FBI agent would know to do.
Facts.
Yep. So in 2023, instead of going through another trial, they were given the opportunity to take a plea deal, which they took and pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter. Molly claimed even though she did not want to take the deal, she couldn't stand the idea of her dad spending the rest of his life in prison, and that's why she took it. Here's the frustrating part to me. They were sentenced to 51 to 74 months in prison with their past time taken into account.
Oh, come on.
Really?
They were sentenced in November and were released June the following year.
Bro.
They only served a total of 44 months in prison, which isn't even 4 full years. 3 years and 8 months. Horrible. The Martens were court-ordered to never contact Jack, Sarah, or their families, obviously. One thing I didn't note in the case of strangulation as well, it's also common for if you are strangled and you pass out, for you to wet yourself. When going back, the second time the trial came around, they did find a urine stain on her pajamas, on Molly's pajamas.
Okay.
So they're like, it's a random little tidbit that is another reason I think why people were like, it's evidence for it.
I have also planted this thing. During this stuff, you have to do this with pee your pants real quick.
It's
So,
true. It
I mean,
could very well.
Yeah.
I'm also like, it's easy just to pee your pants anyway when you're a mom, but she never had gone through childbirth, so that's
Yeah.
the only thing where I'm like, but maybe she had bladder issues.
Yeah. I mean,
Could be.
when you pass out, at least from a nursing point of view, when you pass out, anything like that, things can be released because your system is trying to get back to your organs, so anything else is just left out. So that can happen for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, solid base, but could have been something planted, but see both sides.
Yeah. So like I said, the Martens were court-ordered to never contact Jack, Sarah, or their families. Sarah is now a published author.
Get it.
She released a
Okay,
memoir
okay.
titled A Time for Truth, My Father, Jason, and My Search for Justice and
Okay.
Healing.
There you go, girl.
She
Yeah,
also
get it.
published a children's book called Noodle Loses Dad to help children process loss.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She has been deeply involved in the pursuit of justice for her father in the case, speaking out against her former stepmother Molly and her father Tom.
Mhm.
Jack is currently in college and, like his sister, is an advocate for his dad and has spoken out against the Martens. So, you guys, thoughts on the case?
Way it to me that got me, the way it was staged at the middle, kind of like had me tripping out a little bit
Mhm.
because it looked to be it was gonna something that was planned way ahead of time. It was
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
maybe planned before he even entered the room, so to speak.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then that's the thing that got me because you're not gonna have a bat near your vicinity 9 times out of 10. You're certainly not
Yeah.
gonna have a cinder block anywhere near your vicinity 9
Nope.
times
No.
out of 10.
Nope.
So just by that part alone had me kinda going a little bit, but it's good to see that the kids turned out okay. That was
Yeah,
good.
I'm
That was
I'm
good.
very proud of them. I'm also going to include links to their books in my description as well, so you guys know, so you guys can check it out if you guys
Yeah,
wanna go support her work. I 1,000% think that the Martins got away with this.
they
I think
did.
Yeah.
Molly planned for some type of attack. I think she
Mhm,
drugged him.
Mhm.
I
mhm,
think she was planning to drug him. I think she called her dad and said, "Hey, I need you down here. I don't feel safe," or
mhm,
whatever.
Mhm.
Made claims of that because there was also one thing I didn't mention was that there was also a lot of back and forth on whether the Martins thought there was domestic abuse.
mhm.
Mhm.
When originally questioned, they're like, "No, I don't think so." But then
Mm.
after the fact, they're like, "Oh, yeah, we thought he was very abusive towards her," and na," which bullshit.
It
Yeah.
also could have been
Um,
something of, why don't you take this drink and relax a little bit?"
yeah.
You
Right.
know?
Like
You
Yeah.
know?
getting
Yeah.
trazodone 3 days before.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
'Cause there was no fight. Like, if you legit look at their photos, there was no blood,
Mhm.
no marks, no nothing. I think this is just me speculating.
Mhm,
Obviously, don't know what happened, but I think that she drugged him. I think that she started beating him with a cinder block,
mhm.
and when they heard the thumping, Tom went upstairs and maybe helped her at this point.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Either she had already killed him, but there is evidence of the baseball bat going into the wall in several places where he was down, so I do think that he at some point came in with the bat and
Mm.
helped her with it, and they covered it up.
They still got away with it, though. They still got away with it, though.
Isn't that horrible?
I
I think
mean
the system failed the
oh,
kids
yeah,
a
facts, facts.
1,000%. They failed Jason, but there's a lot of you'd be surprised there's a lot of speculation on this case
Mm,
and a lot of pushback towards that they're out there. They're living their best lives.
mm.
Yeah.
Jason's not.
Yeah, he's
Um,
gone.
and that's the sad part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
really sad.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the side of that. They definitely did something. There's just way too many things don't add up. Like you said, Will, just the cinder block for hella sure.
Mhm,
The bat, I'm like, I could see the bat,
mm,
both sides, but the cinder block, definitely not. Trazodone definitely gave me some, things because she gets the trazodone 3 days before. Tom randomly his boss, oh wait, sorry, I can't go. I have to go do something with my daughter, or I guess that was the excuse.
mhm,
And so I'm like, I think he had a part in it. I don't know why they wanted to plan to both of them kill him,
mm,
or at least maybe she told him I'm being abused, and so they're like, okay, now I have to leave, see what's going on,
yeah.
could have
and
been a case,
yeah,
look to see what was going on, and then he said, "How dare you abuse my daughter?" But the thing that gets me, it was never said where the trauma zone came from.
It was so she it's true. Well, she
Yeah.
did struggle with depression.
hmm
Another weird thing I forgot to mention was I thought I put it in the notes, but I didn't, is that he did go to the doctor
Mhm.
just a few weeks prior and did
Okay.
say he was feeling very irritable over nothing.
hmm
Okay.
So, like,
Okay.
there is medical evidence supporting that as well, but I think that's just they were having a lot of tension in their marriage.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, he
Like,
Yeah.
was.
he was talking about leaving her. She 1,000% wanted to take those kids.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I see in a lot of case. I mean, I don't as a person as a nurse, but like I see in like cases that I hear, they know if you're being domestically abused, you're not really the one that's picking a lot of the fights in public.
Right.
you said that she was
Yeah.
belittling him.
Yeah.
I'm like, usually that's the opposite way around. It's the one that's belittling in public that's doing a lot of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Exactly.
are you abusing, or like is he abusing, or are you abusing?
Right.
Yeah.
That's usually
Yeah.
some signs you see out in public, like, oh, this person probably is, doing some shit at home, and poor guy, That's
Yeah.
probably why he was getting upset at things, is she's belittling him in public. So like he's starting to, put things in a bottle and stuff it in, like not worry about it, and it's starting to pop out of the bottle.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Like,
And that's what we do a lot as dudes. We do a lot of internalizing of certain situations, and that's
what?
not a good thing. That's not a good thing for us to do that.
Yeah.
No. Not
Rugged
good.
individualism is
Not
what I
good for
found it to be.
you. Not good for the soul, and definitely not good for your mental health.
Very
No.
true.
Nope.
No.
Therapy
Yes.
is awesome.
Yes. As one who's
Help you.
gone to
Love
therapy,
therapy.
it's a lifesaver.
Yes.
I'm a big advocate for men's mental health, particularly being in the
Hmm.
Black community. It's very important that we get back to doing that because we're quote unquote the breadwinners, and if we're not right, then the train of support will eventually fail. So if you got any issues, anything like that, get the help you need, seek the help you need. You have resources in your area. Definitely get the help because you have the support. You just got to go get it.
Yeah.
It's
I
there.
love.
It is there.
Yeah.
And there's free resources. There's grants and things that help people who can't necessarily afford it, or, are
Mm-hmm.
places that can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
They are there. We have almost everybody has phones. I feel like you can look
Yep.
it up. Like
Yep.
there are things to
Yeah.
help you.
Yeah.
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 I love it.
And I feel like it's been such like a thing that's been pushed aside for the longest time that in
Mm-hmm.
recent years it's been more covered by insurances, or more made
Mm-hmm.
available to
Mm-hmm.
anybody, men, women, children, all sorts of things. So, if you need it, feel free to seek it out, because
Yeah.
you're not admitting you're weak. You're strong enough to say, I need the help, and
Yep.
I need it before things get worse.
Yep. Amen.
Yeah.
Preach it.
Yep.
Thanks.
I have nothing to add. No notes.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Well, you
Oh
guys, that's the
man,
case.
that was a good one.
There's a lot to that case. I'm emotionally, when I think about it, I get angry. There is a Netflix documentary about it, and everybody, Tom, Molly, Sarah, Jack, Tracy, David, they all give their own account of it.
Oh,
So
okay. I'm gonna
you
have
can
to
go
find
see
that.
if you want
Yeah.
to. You'll see more of the back and forth,
Mhm.
because when I was watching it, I was pulled one way and the other. But I think the some bitches did it.
Some bitches.
The some
They
bitches
did
did
it.
it.
They did it. The
I
son of
think
bitches.
I do think if you look at when you see Molly speak, she's very well spoken. Just knowing that with some of her mental health history, I think there's something there. And
Yeah.
I think she can easily. There's some people that can, like, who is it? Who was the serial killer in Utah?
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Mhm.
Like, he was a very likable person,
Mhm.
very on his toes, very attractive, and that's the
Mhm.
same thing I feel like about Molly. Just because
Mhm.
people look one way, I don't know. I still think that's me, though. That's me. But anyways, haha. So you guys, take a bubble bath or something after that. Get a palate
Watch some
cleanser.
Disney Plus.
Watch some
Yes.
Disney Plus.
Yeah. Oh, hold on now. Hold on now. I had hold on now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey, listen. I was down with y'all too recently. They hit my
Oh no!
no.
they hit my card up for $200. Hold up now. Hold up now.
No.
Because I wasn't doing it by the month. I was doing it by the year. And it's like I happened to switch my card around and I forgot about it. And I got a message the other day. We've tried charging your card of $189.99. And at the end and out the end of the day, nah.
We used to share our account 4 ways
Mhm.
because it was too expensive.
Mhm.
And they started honing down on that this past year.
Oh,
We
yeah.
couldn't
Yep.
share it anymore.
All of
Yeah.
them did.
So
Yeah.
we finally stopped and we're like, okay, like it's hard when we have kids, and we also pay for Hulu.
Yeah.
So we're like, this year we're like, okay, but after that we probably will not.
Yeah. It's
Because it's
terrible.
just, let's be $200 for a subscription
For a year.
TV.
For a year.
Mhm.
Let's just go back to buying DVDs.
Exactly.
I'm gonna
Exactly.
go get my old VHS because my parents have all the
They
VHS
do.
tapes of Disney movies, so I'm just gonna do that.
I think the only
Do that.
thing I do now, I do Netflix for
Mhm.
$7.99, ad-supported Netflix, and I do Crunchyroll for $7.99. That's pretty much
Crunchyroll.
about it.
Yep.
That's
You
about it.
got to.
That's about it.
This is random, but you want a really good tidbit on
Mm.
how to save on your subscriptions for the year?
Mhm.
During Black Friday,
Mhm.
they will do insane deals. We've gotten
Okay.
Peacock for $20 a year.
yeah,
Wow. That's
the year
amazing.
before, and there's a couple of other them that we're paying like $1 or $2 a month.
Mhm.
You have a whole
Okay.
year where it's like $12 for the year.
Yeah.
So that's my little. If you guys are looking to save, that's a good
Yes.
little trick.
I'm a single dad.
tidbit.
I'm a single dad. I need to save as much as possible. I got a daughter trying to plan for my daughter's cotillion and my
Oh!
son, and because they're 16, they're 16-year-old twins. So and then keeping my son up in soccer. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah.
much.
You got the things.
And they're
Yeah.
expensive. I've heard they're very expensive when they're
Mhm.
teenagers.
Mhm.
So that's hard. You're like, yep.
And she got a cruise coming in. I told her mom and her stepdad, y'all can handle that. I'll get you to that point. Past
Yep,
that.
that's right.
Yeah, I'll get you to
That's
that
right.
point, man. Yes.
Life is expensive.
Yes.
But yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the show
Thank
today.
you for
Thank
having
you.
me. I
Thank
do
you so much.
appreciate it. Thank you. One of my favorite shows. I found you guys on TikTok. Oh, speaking of TikTok, are y'all coming back to live?
Not full time.
Mhm.
I found that going live, I was able to put out as many podcast episodes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that made me sad because we love
Oh.
doing this.
Right, right.
And I'm going through some health issues. I have
Mhm.
to go get a tonsillectomy here in a little bit. So that's another reason why as well. It's going to be like a 2-month process and we're not going to be able to do it. So I'm just taking a pause. I'm going to go live when I can. And maybe
Okay.
after that, we'll go back to full time.
Okay.
Are you going live?
I don't know what my fear is about going live. I don't get it. I don't know what it is. I feel that I'm better with people around me
Mhm.
than
Yeah.
by myself. So that's something I'm working through. Yeah.
Well, Will, you are always welcome to come back on whenever you want. You're
Thank
feeling
you.
a little murdery. Like I said, guys, I will be posting all of Will's stuff in the description, so please check that out. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you guys so much. We love doing this, so we are just so grateful. I don't know, what good things do we want to wish our audience?
I mean, always the classics. May
Yeah.
your pillow always be cold.
May your pillow always be cold. That's a must. Ooh, may your Pepsis or Cokes be crisp.
Yes.
Ooh, the crisps.
Yeah.
And not be flat.
No.
No one likes a flat soda.
No.
And with you guys, have a good night.
And sip carefully.
Take care, everyone.